Hello fabulous ones, welcome back to my channel. I am Marlo Keenan, and if you're new here, welcome to the fabulous family. Today I'm super excited because I'm coming to you to bring you a video of a full face makeup for beginners. And when I say this is for beginners, this is for beginners, okay? And in that video, I'm gonna also, of course, showcase the new Midas Cosmetics palettes that just was released not that long ago, the Makeup Geek mascara, the eyeliner, and all of that good jazz. And let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Like, I have no lashes on. So you know this video is for beginners, okay? I feel super naked right now, but I do love the way the look came out. This video again is solely focused for beginners. The full face, the eyes, the shadow, how to apply it every day, even the skin, the face, all of that jazz. And it's truly for beginners in that when I say that we're not doing no contouring, all of that jazz, because at the end of the day, beginners aren't going to be doing all of that. So I really hope that you guys look at this video from beginning to the end, because I really feel that it's super informative. And also, just a little bit of housekeeping, I want to make sure that you guys do know that of course there's always timestamps in the description bar, and also that I go live every single Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's composed of a whole bunch of things, mainly my beginner cut crease videos. I'm going to be doing how to blend for beginners, all of that good jazz, including some sprinkles of here and there of super different type of lives and videos and funs and just talk throughs and just all of that jazz. I mean, it's just gonna be fabulous, so you don't want to miss it. So if you want to see this whole look in a beginner's fashion style, then this video is for you, okay? But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. So many of you guys are watching but are not hitting that button, so please hit that button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Okay, enough of this jibber jabber, let's just get to the video. Okay guys, we're gonna get right into it. And again, like I said in the intro, I really want this to be beginner friendly as possible. So that's why, you know, not only me showcasing these two new Midas Cosmetics palettes, but they're the perfect palettes to do that. So the first palette I'm going to use is the new one is the new one that is called Unveiled Berry Nude, and that's this one right here. Let me go ahead and take it out of the sleeve. And here we have it, okay? So very nice neutral palette, matte, shimmers, all of that good jazz. And this is a perfect palette to do something for beginners because it's so neutral. It doesn't have a lot of color to it or anything like that. There are no shade names on the palette or anything else, but I'm going to list everything and all the details of the palette down below, including the price, where you could get it, my code, and all of that good jazz. But I do want to swatch some of them for you. So I'm going to take, you know, let's see here, this shimmer right here, burgundy shade right there. Here we are right here. Super pretty, super pigmented. They feel really good thus far, but let's see how they apply to the eye. Okay, so because this is beginner friendly, I'm going to go ahead and use my Marlo base, which I absolutely love. You guys know I've been using this like it's nobody's business because it's just so easy. You got your base, you got your powder to set inside, and you're ready to go. Just going to go ahead and lightly coat this eyelid. Okay, since this is for beginners, like I keep on repeating that, I'm going to only use 3 shades. I want to show you guys that you guys create a very everyday look, super simple, super soft, very easy, and still be a little bit glamorous with the shimmer shades. And we just got to figure out what shades we're going to use. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to use this shade here as a transitional shade, okay, and then I'm going to deepen it up with this shade here. And if it's not as deep as I want it to go, I may add in this kind of, it seems like kind of more of like a burnt kind of eggplant brown, and then we'll figure out what shimmer. But let's just start off with this shade right here. Now what you want to do is take a fluffy brush, okay? You want to make sure you take a brush that's conducive to your eye shape when you're doing the first blending process of the shadow. Now I have big eyes, so I'm going to take a bigger brush like such, because I have a lot of lid space, okay? And so what you want to do with that first transitional shade is go, you know, above your crease and buff that out in windshield wiper motions or circular motions, whatever you want to do, and lightly coat that upper lid. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm kind of a tapper. I kind of place the shadow there first like such, and then go ahead and blend it out. Now, okay, I went in and literally lightly tapped this brush into the shadow, but it is a lot more pigmented than I expected it to be, which is okay, and hence why you want the fluffy brush, because now I'm gonna go in those type of circular motions right all the way up to the eyebrow. Now a lot of people, or rather some people, don't like to blow it out all the way up to the eyebrow. You do not have to do that. I prefer that. That's the style that I like, so that's the style that she shall do. So, and you know, just in terms of this shadow right here, it blended out perfectly. Like, I'm literally done blending. That is really impressive. But you know, Midas Cosmetics has great shadows. They really do. I mean, it is what it is. Okay, and notice guys, I am going to take it right there into the inner corner. Again, something that everybody doesn't like to do, but I do. And it just really depends on the look that you're going for, to be honest with you. So I don't want to say it's not common. I just want to say it just depends on what you're going for. But for beginners going to work, this is all you have to do. And I'm basically done, guys, with that first shade. Okay, now I'm going to take another fluffy brush for my second shadow, okay? And I'm going to take my trusty dusty Sigma E25, and you just want more of a brush like such. This is not as big as the other brush, and it is a little stained, so please don't pay no attention to that. But it's a little bit more flat, but it's also fluffy, in which it could blend out the product. So we're going to go ahead into this shade right here. Let's see what this shade is all about. I'm going to go tap, tap, tap. Because you know, you never know how pigmented something is when you're first using it. So I'm going to tap it out. It's super pigmented. And then I'm going to start here at the outer corner. Okay, I'm going to start here at the bottom and just really first pack the shade in. You're not blending yet. All you're doing is packing the shade in. And so if this shade had any fallout, I wouldn't care, because I didn't do my foundation first. I usually typically do my eyes, so I don't have to worry about cleanup. But that is pigmented is all get out. This is like a burnt orange type of shade. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, as I'm in the crease, as you can see, I'm going up further and up. Now I'm gonna like kind of like turn my brush and start the blending process up, okay? And just keep on blending. You don't need any other additional product with this, apparently, because it's so pigmented. And sure, let's go ahead and bring it in just a little bit. You're just going now into the crease. You just want to go below the shade that you went in with previously, okay? And then bring it on in with no extra product. You're just dragging that product in and blending it upwards, okay? So you just keep on blending. You don't want to have harsh lines. We do not play harsh line games, okay? So you just have to continue to blend until you're really satisfied, you know? And these shadows are blended out so well with each other. You could see it right here in live time. And I am just having no issues with it at all. You know, I'm not even going to go in with that other deeper shade. If this is every day, this is for beginners, I'm going to try to just use the 3 shades, and we're going to keep it moving. But look how pretty. And I mean, and really that's it, guys. How fast was that? But you want to just not go all the way into the lid. You want to leave some of this lid space here, because you're going to be putting like one of those shimmer in that inner corner for some definition and all that good jazz. So okay, so I'm basically done blending. I mean, I am. You know, we could call it quits here, and then we could go ahead and figure out what shade we're going to use in the inner corner. I am actually eyeballing either this, you know, shade right here or this one, but I think I want to go in with this one and add a little bit more contrast, because this is actually going to match this, and I don't want that. I want to, you know, have a little bit more contrast, and we're going to use this kind of goldy type of shimmer shade. Yeah, it's like a very muted, like goldy shade. Super pretty. Super pretty. Yeah. So with this, you could go different brushes with this, and I'm going to do a whole video on brushes and application with eyeshadows and all that jazz, but I'm actually going to take an angle brush because I want a light deposit. This is, again, for beginners, you know, makeup for beginners, so we want to go light-handed instead of using a packing brush like I can use. And I'm taking my Lancome angled brush. Let me show you, like, kind of up close and what it looks like here. Just a fluffy angle brush. I'm just going to tap, 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 because this type of brush is going to give you a light disbursement of it. It's not going to be like so opaque the way it looks when I swatched it on my hand. So you're just going to go ahead and lightly just deposit that. Look how pretty. You see what I'm saying about the contrast? That's why I wanted to use this shade instead of this similar type of shade where it wouldn't look, you know, as poppy as it is now. You see? Just bring it up all the way, you know, onto the crease a little bit. I'm going to go above my crease because I have hooded eyes. You guys may not have to. You guys are, of course, can just stay right down low, right at the crease or beneath it. But I'm going to go a little bit above. You see? Super cute, super everyday, super beginner friendly and easy. We're done. Haha. Let's move on to the next eye. Okay, the next one we're going to use is that second new release by Midas Cosmetics, and it is an Unveiled, but this is the Cool Nudes palette. Now, this is definitely more on the darker side, you know, a little bit more, perhaps more intimidating than the previous palette because it's just a little more darker. You know, it's like, okay, this is something dark, but I promise you, you're going to be able to achieve just a really natural, just cool tone look with it. And we're going to use the light colors. We're going to stick to 3 shades like before. So the same process, the same theory, technique, and all that jazz. So we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and coat the lid with the base. Okay, so that's nice and coated, and I don't remember if I mentioned this, but I want to let you guys know the reason why I'm doing this base or primer, if you will, is because I want to have a blank canvas, because you got all these wrinkles in your eye, you got discoloration and all of this stuff. So that's why it's important to use that if you are putting, you know, eyeshadow on your eye. So you don't have to have this particular one, but if you have a light concealer or whatever, just go ahead and use your concealer or your foundation and just blot it in the eye, and make sure you just set it with a powder, because concealers, some concealers and some, I mean, definitely foundations are super wet, and you just want it to be a little bit dry, especially for beginners. Okay, the shade I'm going to use in here is going to be this one right here for my transitional shade. And of course, if you guys are a different skin tone, if you're lighter than me, you could still probably use this, but you could use these two. Or for the darker skin tone gals, you could use these, you know. So this palette you could definitely use no matter what skin tone you are. So I am using the same brush that I used before, but I already cleaned it with my brush, you know, switcheroo or cleaner. Here we go. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and tap. Again, this is pretty pigmented, you know. I could have actually went in with the lighter shade, but that's okay. It's still a transition for me. Okay, so about this palette and this shade, it blends out really well, as you guys can see. I'm really loving these shades and these palettes, but Midas Cosmetics, I mean, she does good. She does good. Alright, so now I'm going to take my Morphe 433 brush, which is very similar to my, you know, Sigma E25. And I'm going to go in with this darker shade right here. Ooh, let's swatch that. Yep, super cool tone dark. Love it, love it, love it. You guys know, like, if you've been watching me for a while, I love a dark outer corner. I love using dark chocolate brown shades. I usually go for the more warmer tone ones, but that's okay. I like the cool ones too. Super pigmented, so very light hands here. So again, same process. You just pack on, and look at that. I mean, wow. You know, and this is just an example of how people just assume that high-end brands are the only brands that could do this. That could do this. Not true. And look at how pigment that is and easy it was. So now we're just going to go ahead and blend it up to the top. We're going to do the same thing that we did on the other eye, just with different colors. And then push it to the inner corner. And buff it out and blend it out until you get your desired look, you know, and you get rid of the harsh lines. See, super simple. Like, I'm really done, but I want to blend it a little bit more. Like, that blended so easily, so pigmented. All right, that's it. That's it. And now I'm gonna take, there's only 3 shimmers in here, so we're gonna go with this lighter one right here. Same thing, same brush. I wiped it off already, and we're just gonna go ahead and flush that color on. Just right there in the inner corner. That's it. That's it. Do a little bit more blending, and there you have it, guys. That is it. How easy is that? Okay, so now what I'm gonna quickly do is I'm gonna do the lower lash line. I wasn't even gonna put it in, but you know what? Let me go ahead and put it in the clip, at least this eye, so you know the theory of what I'm doing on the bottom lash line. I was gonna do the foundation first, but let me go ahead and do it now. So I'm gonna just do exactly what I did on the top to the bottom. The only 2 shades, however, I'm going to use is the transitional shade and the darker shade. I'm gonna go ahead and put that transitional shade down on the bottom. You take a very small detailed brush to do that with. And just low and just, you know, get your lower lash line. I like, you know, a blown out lower lash line. You don't have to go as far as me, but here we go. And then I'm gonna take kind of a more detailed shader brush, and I'm gonna get closer to the lash line with the darker color. So I'm gonna use my Sigma brush right here. It's kind of a line brush, it's very small, and I'm just gonna tap, 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 and then get it right near the lower lash line. So it's gonna be like, you know, you're gonna have transitional shade down at the lower lash line, and it's gonna go from dark to light. And in doing that, it just pulls the whole eye together. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I'm not gonna film it, but you guys get my drift. Okay guys, basically we're finished with the eyes. So before we start on me introducing the new products I have from Makeup Geek in terms of the mascara and all that jazz, we're gonna just take a break from the eyes and move on to the complexion. And this is so beginner friendly, I promise you guys. And I want to point out that the complexion piece, when I say beginner friendly, I mean beginner friendly, because at the end of the day, this is my take. When you're a beginner and you're, you know, trying to get your makeup on and your face together, you're gonna do all the contouring. We're not gonna be cutting no creases like with the eyes, or we're not gonna be, you know, heavily, you know, putting a lot of primer and all this stuff on the face, because at the end of the day, most beginners don't even know about all of that stuff. So this is a true definition of beginner friendly, where we're really just gonna do, you know, moisturize the skin, we're gonna put the foundation on, bronze, and we're out the door. Because true beginners aren't going to be doing the most. I will do another video updating this one with more an advanced type of face foundation and all that stuff. But for this, is going to be super beginner friendly, and that is it. And to begin that, most people, when they go in their bathroom, they wash their face, at the very least, they're going to put some moisturizer on their face. So that's what we're going to use basically as our primer, if you will. You know, I have my Pond's Cold Cream moisturizer, and I do have mine mixed in with some BB cream by Gerard Cosmetics, is one of my favorites, and you could do that too as a beginner. If you have some type of illuminator, highlighting liquid type of thing, you could just mix it in with your moisturizer and call it a day, okay? But if you don't have that type of product, just use your moisturizer for now, okay? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do here, and I'm gonna load up because my skin is dry, child. I mean, you know, crocodile, alligator, all of that stuff, you know. And so one of the things I do want to mention, in, you know, for beginners, when you're getting your foundation and you're picking out your foundation, all that jazz, know your skin type, know if you're oily, know if you're combination, know if you're dry like myself, and it's going to help you pick the best foundation for your skin type. And if you're in the store, if you're in the Sephora, ask them, you know, be like, I have dry skin, get the help that you need if you need it. Okay, as you can see, I am super heavily moisturized because I have dry crocodile skin in these winter months. And so the foundation that I'm choosing to use is the Morphe Filter Foundation. This is a new foundation. I already reviewed it. I will link that above. Make sure you go check that out. And although this is a super matte, well, I don't know if it's super matte. I don't feel like it's super matte at all. But because I do know it's still in a matte form type of foundation, that's why I'm actually heavily moisturizing my face to combat some of this. But I've already reviewed this. It's fine for my skin, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to make note of that. If you're oiler combination, you know, you may not have to go as far as moisturizing like this, but you still want to add a moisturizer nonetheless, whether you're oily or combination skin. All skin needs moisturization at the end of the day. Don't let nobody tell you different. So once you do your foundation, you want to choose your tool. So I am going to use my beauty sponge. Actually, this is also by Midas Cosmetics. When I tell you this is the softest sponge ever, it's softer than the Beauty Blender. It's $5 and some change. All the information will be linked below with my discount code. I'm telling you, I just love this. Or you could use a brush. So whatever tool you feel makes you comfortable, use it. If you want to use your hands, you're a beginner, go for it. Okay? Do what you need to do. So I'm just going to take a few pumps of this foundation. I'm going to take my beauty sponge. I'm going to actually just go ahead and pounce it, right, just like such. And I'm just going to apply it to the skin. You know, put a little, you know, and do one of these numbers and just go ahead and blend away. I love this foundation, by the way. Can you see why I do? Can you see how that's applying? But this is not about the foundation. And honestly, guys, I actually think for beginners, maybe you should use a sponge. I think it may be easier for you to control the product because it's just, you know, you blending the foundation into the skin versus kind of, you know, swiping it with a brush, creating streaks. I think this is the easiest route to go when you are a beginner. Okay, now that I basically got all my foundation all blended into the skin, now, honestly, if you guys do not want to use concealer, don't. You're a beginner. If you don't want to use it, just forget about it. Now, I'm going to use concealer, and I'm going to tell you why. I did not blend my foundation all the way up under my eyes. I don't want to do that. You know, I have dry, mature skin. There's no reason for me to take that foundation all the way up here when I know that I'm going in with a concealer. Okay, so if you want to use concealer, that's fine. Then make sure you just don't pull that foundation all the way up into the under eyes, okay? So the concealer that I'm gonna go in with is my Joy concealer. Absolutely love this concealer. I am in the shade Creme Brulee. I like a bright under eye, but choose a concealer that you want. So once you put your foundation on, if you don't like so much a bright under eye, you just want a little bit of coverage, then go ahead and just kind of use the concealer that kind of matches your complexion or the foundation. But if you want a little bit of brightness to the skin, a little bit definition in your T-zone, then go ahead and get a shade lighter than your foundation, okay? This is probably like 2 or 3 shades because I just extra and I like a bright under eye, but I'm not going to use a lot. So for you beginners, you don't got to do all that big old triangle majigga, okay? You don't got to do all that. Just do it a little bit. Just put a dab, you know, put a little bit of dot. You know, I could dab it just like that. That's all. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's it. And then I'm going to, like, you don't even have to do this part, but I want a bright T-zone. So I'm going to go ahead and put some concealer right only in my T-zone, okay? Now I'm just going to put it on my chin, right there, a little bit right there, and right there. That's all I'm going to use. This is full coverage This is a full coverage concealer, and so that's all I'm going to use. And you could either use a concealer brush if you want to. This is a foundation brush, but I could go ahead and use this and just go ahead and push that into the skin and blend it out. You see? Let me just do it with this brush here, and then I'll do it with a beauty sponge on the other side. And blend that in just like such. You see how this concealer is giving me a, you know, just some definition and is brightening up my under eye, making me look younger, child. You just keep on going. And you could use it also to clean up your, you know, eyeshadow or whatever, but that's not, we're just not going there. We're just gonna try to pat that in, okay? On the other eye, I will use my beauty sponge. Okay, and just press it into the eye. You could use any tool that you want, whatever makes you comfortable for beginners, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend the rest of this out. And as I'm blending around my mouth, I might just go ahead and, you know, just pull it up right there just to give me kind of a natural reverse contour. But we'll talk about that in another video. Okay, so since I, you know, did the concealer thing and all that jazz, you do want to set the concealer so it doesn't move or anything like that. If you're using a concealer that kind of sets itself and you don't like to use powder, then don't. You're a beginner, it's okay. It's not, you know, nothing's going to happen that's going to be super crazy. But if you do want to set it, I suggest just taking just a light, fine, you know, setting powder or even a pressed powder. I am going to use mine by Tarte Shape. I'm just going to mix these two together. I don't powder like that. I don't bake. I have no time for that. So I'm just going to just lightly take the powder and just lightly set right where I put that concealer, just so it could stay in place. You know, it's a liquid. I mean, you're not even going to tell that I put powder on because I am dusting it so lightly. If you want to use something like a looser powder, if you have it, like a Laura Mercier, then by all means. But this is basically, you know, what to do after you do your concealer. Like, I barely use powder. Okay, the next step is, now that all this is done, I got, you know, the T-zone powdered. The rest of my face, you know, it has a foundation on, and I want to go ahead and bronze. But typically what I would do when I'm going in with a powder bronzer and my skin right on top of basically foundation, a lot of people and myself like to kind of set all over the face with a loose powder or a pressed powder that's kind of translucent, or with some color to add in some more depth to the face or whatever. For a beginner, most of you guys are gonna want to do that. So it is okay if you want to go in and just bronze and be out the door. But if you want to take it a step further and just use a powder to set the face, you could choose any powder that you want. I'm actually gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder, and this is in the shade Tan. But I am loosely going to powder. Like, I am not, again, a powder person, and I am just going to use my dual fiber brush by Sigma. It's one of my favorite brushes to use when I'm just lightly dusting the face with a powder, because again, I don't want to look like a cake face. So I actually just have some of that powder loosely in here in the cap, and I am going to barely, let me show you, tap it. Look, that's it, and that's even too much for me. And I'm gonna tap it on the outer corner and just lightly buff. You know what I mean? Just buff. Why? Because it's gonna give me that airbrush finish. You know, it's not gonna look, you know, harsh. It's not gonna look cakey, and that is it. And when you do this, and when you start the bronzing process with your bronzer, this is going to assist with helping that bronzer not to skip because you're putting it on a wet foundation. I hope that made sense. But this is the reason why I'm doing it at the moment. And again, super lightly where you can't even tell I have powder on, child. Okay? Because look, I'm mature, got dry skin. We ain't got no time to look like an alligator. Okay, that is it. I mean, I am like looking flawless right now, child. Okay, we are getting through it. We are getting through it. And now I'm gonna go ahead and bronze with my Park Princess palette. I'm just gonna mix these two end shades together and lightly bronze the perimeter of my skin. And typically what I like to do, as you guys know, I'm a tapper. I like to tap first. It's just what I do, and then I will buff. And also, I basically, when I'm doing my bronzer, I do pull it down a little bit down here, but I like to get most of it right up here because that's where I want that definition to be, where it's gonna look like like, you know, my face is chiseled. So the darker parts are up here and then I push it down. So, and then here I am going in and just buffing everything in. Just, you know, leftover product. Let's bring it down my nose a bit. The edges of my nose. Now at this point, you know, I'm basically done, but I am going to take this brush again. I'm not going to put no more powder, and I'm just going to like kind of just like blend everything together. Just go over everything, you know, just like we talked about no harsh lines on the eyes. We don't want no harsh lines on the skin as well. So I'm just going to buff, and it's going to just be everything you see is just so seamless. You know what I'm saying? It's just flowing in to one another. Now, at this point, most people want to put a blush. I don't do blushes like that, so you guys, if you want to do a blush, this is the time to do it. And just go ahead and add it. I'm not going to. I actually like to take my bronzer, what's left over in that bronzer, and bring it like right there because I'm just like that bronzy golden look type of chick. You know, that's what I like. Okay, so now we have the highlight. If you guys don't want to have highlight, you know, like you see those YouTubers doing, you can stop right here, child. You can stop right here. Take a setting spray. I'm going to use the Gerard Cosmetic setting spray in mint chocolate chip, and then this is where you'll spray it. You'll set your makeup so it stays on. So let's go ahead and do that. Go ahead and let that bad boy dry. And while it's, you know, getting a little, you know, dry down and all that good stuff, I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just go over it. Just go over everything again. Just blending everything in together and just tapping all around. And it's just going to give you just the most even, perfect blend, you know, beautiful skin. I'm going to go in with a highlighter. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury highlighter right here. And you could have done this before you set or after. I kind of like to do it both. I like to do it after I set my face because the setting spray gives the skin, you know, kind of that luminous tackiness feeling and wetness, and then going over it with a highlighter, it just gives it a special oomph of a finish. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take my highlighter brush and just go ahead and highlight right there. This is a really subtle highlighter for me. I love this highlighter. It's my everyday kind of highlighter. You know, it's not like you're going to be beaming to the guys or anything like that, but it's just nice and subtle to give you a nice youthful glow, and I just love it. So, you know, but again, you don't have to do this. You can skip this step if you want to. All right, so basically the face is done. In this camera, in this lighting, I look super bright, but in real life, I have a super beautiful balance to my skin, and you know, I don't look as bright the way I do on the camera, but I'm absolutely loving it. So let's move forward and finish the eyes. Okay guys, now we're gonna go ahead and dive into this new release by Makeup Geek, her new mascara, and I'm gonna go through all the claims and all that good jazz. This is the time that we are going to see how this works. And she also has eyelash curler too, super high quality, I will tell you that. And this retails for $7.89. The mascara retails for $12.89. So I am like, this is really super high quality. Now you guys know I'm gonna put some lashes on after this, but I wanted to demonstrate the mascara and see how it works, and you know, do it in live time. And then she also has two new eyeliner duos, and we're gonna put these on. The shades are navy and gunmetal, but let's go ahead and, you know, do the mascara and all of that jazz. And you guys know I'm an affiliate. All that information will be down below. So I'm going to go ahead, let me come up a little bit more, and I'm going to go ahead and use this to curl my lashes. I'm going to take it at the base and then release, pull up, release, and then get to the ends, and then that's how I curl my lashes. You're not going to see it because I have no lashes. Oh my god, it did give me a curl though. Although I am part of the, you know, itty bitty eyelash committee. Okay, I do want to go ahead and read the claims of this eyelash. It's a volumizing and lengthening mascara formulated to make your lashes look like extensions. Matte finish, high coverage, water resistant, 24-hour long wear. And the main focus about this mascara is that it contains castor oil and calendula extract to protect the lashes. Now we all know, you know, castor oil has a reputation of like lengthening lashes and all that stuff. They're not claiming that, but they're just really announcing that these are the ingredients in there. It's vegan free, cruelty free, all of that good stuff, and it was made in Italy, so you know, hey. So let's apply this and let's see how it works on my itty bitty lashes. The wand is as such, looks nice, looks fluffy. I kind of like small wands because my lashes are super tiny, but let's go ahead, do a little wiggle at the base and then pull up. That's how I like to do my lashes, and then twirl the wand to get the strands. Of course, you know, I always have to do 2 to 3 coats. What I do like about it thus far is that it is like not clumping up at all. I don't know if you can see the difference between this eye and this eye. I hope I don't get no blurriness. Let me try to. So let me finish up both eyes and then we'll take a look at it afterwards. Okay guys, this is the lash ease with the mascara. I don't know how I could, like, you know, make sure you see him, but I do like it. I do like the mascara. I feel that it's actually really it's just not clumpy. It's super easy to use. Now, I had to go and this is like 4 coats because I have no lashes. For people who have a lot more volume and length to their lashes, this mascara is going to be off the chain for you guys because it did give me length. I have no lashes, and you could actually see that I got some lashes right now. You know what I'm saying? But again, I did have to go in with like 4 coats, so let's not be mistaken about that. But I really do like it. I love the packaging. I think it's super sleek, super nice, you know what I mean? Makeup Geek style. And maybe if I look down, maybe you guys could see it a little bit better. So there you have it, okay? Now, let's go ahead and see what these liners look like. Okay, these liners retail for $6.99. So we're gonna put both of them on, or maybe not both, I don't know. Let's just swatch both of them first. It feels really smooth. Okay, navy and gunmetal right there. Looks nice, looks nice, looks nice. We're going to put navy on this one and then gunmetal on the other eye. Okay, there you have it. It went on nice. I do like that it's, you know, one of those push, you know, twist eyeliners, and here's like the tip. This is what the tip looks like. So I do like that. You know, those eyeliners that you have to, like, you know, have a pencil sharpener is sometimes annoying. But it's gliding on super smooth. Okay guys, what I decided is I'm not going to do lashes. Since this is a beginner friendly tutorial with a full face, we're not going to do lashes. But I am going to do a whole dedicated video of lashes, application, styles of lashes you should buy for yourself, all that jazz. It's going to be one video by itself. But I like the way the look came out. So I'm not going to use lashes. I showed you how to do the mascara, so we're going to keep it like that. I'm going to go get a Lippie and all of that good jazz, and I'm going to come back with the final look, and then we will debrief. Okay guys, I'm back. I used my Gerard Cosmetics Bullet Lippie in French Toast. I do love this Lippie. It's my actual favorite bullet from the brand. But enough of that. I absolutely love the way it came out. I hope you guys really did like the way I tried and attempted to show you how to do a full face for beginners. That's why I really wanted to use also these Midas cosmetic palettes. They are brand new. Again, go ahead down in the description bar. You'll have all the information about it. And I really felt that just using like really neutral type of, like, you know, non-bright shades would help a beginner to be able to feel confident in when they're doing their eyeshadow, especially when you're just using in 3 shades. And guys, can you believe it? I have no lashes on. Like, what is going on? I feel weird. I feel naked. But for a beginner, you guys wouldn't wear lashes. So, you know, I'm glad that I was able to help demonstrate that Makeup Geek mascara, which is brand new, and I really do like it. And yeah, and in terms of the face, again, a lot of beginners aren't going to be doing the contour and all that jazz. So that's why I really wanted to keep it super simple, super nice, super fresh. I really do like the way it came out. I really do hope that you guys do appreciate these type of videos. I want to continue to do more of these videos, you know, where it's kind of like more teaching and all that good jazz. Like I'm just trying to spice up the channel a little bit to make sure that I am being a benefit and I am showing value to you. So again, I hope you love this video. Give me a thumbs up, comment down below, do all of that jazz. Let me know what you would like to see me do. Let me know if you want to see me teach any other type of techniques, styles, or whatever. Just let me know and I will be there for you. So until my next video, y'all, you know I love you. Bye bye now.